Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today I have Scott Forrester with us. He's a keynote speaker and the author of The Aware Athlete, How the Wild Origins of Our Human Nature and the New Science of Neuro-plasticity Are Redefining Fitness. So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Grateful to have you here. We'll jump right in. The first one I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Okay, boy. If I had to pick one story, it would definitely probably hinge around the time I fell off a roof and broke my ankle. And what I learned through that experience, you can learn through other experiences, but particularly is that every setback really is an opportunity to learn something new. And I say that because that particular episode led me to study the Feldenkrais method to finally be able to heal and function better myself. And actually, that's the process, or that's the result of that, was being able to write my book.
And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Okay, wow, that's a really important question. So my expertise, you can see the title of my book is The Aware Athlete. So I really believe that the greatest gift that humanity shares, all of us do, and the most overlooked and undervalued aspect of being human is the ability to be self-aware.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Okay. Well, that would definitely be keep learning and persist and persist.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I think that would be to have the confidence, have a great deal of confidence that things will turn out as they should be, and approach each situation with beginner's mind. There's so much to learn.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
Well, two things come to mind right away. First is, what everyone would possibly think of is, and that's having the things that you want. And I think that's important, and I think we all do have some of those things. Most of us have a roof over our heads and warm clothing and things beyond that. But my belief is that the real key to happiness is living a life with purpose.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Okay, well, I've read an awful lot of books lately, so it's hard to single out one. But if I had to do that, I would definitely say for having impact on me, it would be the writings of Dr. Feldenkrais, particularly books like his 1972 classic, Awareness Through Movement. And he has another one, very similar book called it's similar but dissimilar, but called The Potent Self. And so both those books really point you in the direction of learning how it is to live in your body and how important movement is, and how you can build awareness through moving.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
One I come back to a lot is the quote by Roosevelt: "It is not the critic who counts." And most people are familiar with it. It's not the man who points out the weaknesses or who points out how the strong man stumbles, but it's the credit belongs to the person who's actually in the arena doing something. So it's not the critic that counts. I love that quote.
Yes, man, me too. Thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where is the best place for people to find you online?
Definitely go to go to awareathlete.com.
Perfect, man. Thanks again.
Okay, thank you so much, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.